day, we saw the Dow making new all-time highs. We see the fear and greed index sitting at 64. And the question remains, is it all about to end tomorrow? We come over and look at how the indices fared. The Dow was up 742 points. The NASDAQ was up 36.77 points. The S&P 500 up 35.98 points, and the Russell 2000 was up 3.38%. We look at advancing issues versus declining, 79.6 issues advancing versus only 17.8 issues declining on the day. Now we look, it wasn't only the Dow making new all-time highs, but we look at the Russell 2000, it has been on one heck of a tear. If we measure down here from the swing low, up here near the high from today, the Russell 2000 is up 13.77%. Now, when we zoom this out a little bit, is the Russell 2000 going to be able to play catch up and come all the way back up here, making a new all-time highs? We've had the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P all making new highs. Can the Russell 2000 join the cool kids club? Now we come over and look at Nvidia. Nvidia was down 1.65%. It's looking more and more likely that this is likely going to be a lower high in the market, and that could send prices substantially lower. We take a look at Microsoft today, also suffering a down day, almost down 1% on the session. And even Meta today was down another 1.27%. And look, we made it through the other side of this volume area, of this distribution area. Is Meta about to make it down towards 469, which will be the next high volume area? Now, it seems like every day, all the market does is go up and up and up. However, is this about to end tomorrow? We come over and look at this right here. The IMF warns inflation may not keep falling, meaning higher for even longer interest rates. When we come over and look at the Fed watch tool, we can see, look how aggressive they are getting on cutting interest rates. They are seeing that the Fed is going to start to aggressively cut rates after the next meeting. And what if Jay Powell and company during July's FOMC meeting actually comes out with a surprise interest rate cut? We look at Bank of America jumps 4% despite missing FICC, net interest income, and looming CRE losses. Now, the banks are hoping they can continue to kick the can down the road and they can basically survive this without any turmoil. Look at Bank of America Day, a big bullish candle, or is this more of an exhaustion type of candle? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, we also had Goldman Sachs out with earnings as well on yesterday, and Goldman Sachs today was up another 2.24%. We take a look at the XLF. XLF rocketing up as well, was up 1.14%. And even KRE, look at the big explosive move in KRE. And this is just complete vertical straight on the way up. And this at some point is going to have to pull back a bit. Now, the question is, will it be this week, this month, or is it going to wait until after the election cycle? We look at the dollar index still hovering down here near the lows. However, if you take a look at gold, gold is up near all-time highs, coming right in to our resistance level. And I warned you guys, once we clear this swing point over here, we are probably going to make a run all the way back up towards all-time high. But the question now that we ask ourselves is, will this be enough to continue to rally up, or are we going to start to get a bit of a pullback, maybe pulling back towards where some of these high volume areas are, and then setting up another leg higher in the markets? We take a look at crude oil. Crude oil today was down roughly $1 or so. So crude oil is starting to pull back here just a bit. And if you're concerned with inflation, lower crude oil prices is not only good for us at the gas pumps, but it's also going to be good on the inflation fight as well. Now we come over and look at the QQQs. Qs today, not making a new all-time high, actually forming a hammer candle. And are we getting ready to run back up and take out all-time highs in the market? On the 4-hour chart, MACD indicator is still trending to the downside. On the 1-hour chart, we're basically just flatlined near the zero line when looking at the MACD indicator, but look right where we came down to today. I'm going to drop this onto a 30-minute chart. We talked about this minus development area. What did I say in last night's video and even this morning? I said, watch out. The first time we come into this, what is likely going to occur? We're likely to get a bounce away. Then if we come back down towards this level again, that's where we're likely going to go ahead and flush lower. And essentially, we see the Qs have basically been contained within this area. Now, if you're playing for a volume profile rotation trade out here this morning, you can see value area high was right over here. What do? Look above. Oh, we came all the way down through the profile. Then later on in the afternoon, if you try to play the rotation back up, you can see we just barely missed hitting the point of control, which would have been target number 1. Now, as we come over and look at the weekly profiles, notice we were able to get below value area low off the weekly profile. So was that set up? Now that we've been below it and we start coming back up, it's highly probable we're going to come up and hit the point of control. Then look, that's right near this high volume area, and that's going to be the next target location for the NASDAQ. Anything above that, I'll be looking all the way up here towards value area high, and then all the way up here towards this high volume node, which also correlates with the weekly high volume area as well on the profile. Now, yesterday I warned you guys about this pattern. I want to make everybody aware, Apex 7 a massive 80% sale off all their valuation accounts, passing as little as 1 day, and you can also get a 150K account for only $40. You get a 250K account for only $40, and you get a 300K account for only $40. So if you want to take advantage of this offer, use the link in the description box down below and use the promo code Mike at checkout. Now, yesterday I warned you guys about this pattern. I said, watch out for the trap, or maybe it was this morning I talked about the trap, but I talked about this last night as well. We get news come out, we spike up, boom, they sell it off. But then on July 12th, what do? We run it up, boom, they sell it off towards the end of the day. What happened yesterday? They run it up only to bring it back down. I said, watch out. That may not be the case today. If they make something so obvious, then that likely will not be the outcome. And instead, it's going to be nothing more than a trap that they're setting. Now, if we look at value area high, that's going to come in at 20,604.25. The point of control will come in at 20,573.25, and value area low will come down here at 20,503.25. So how do I want to handle this? Well, one, if we start breaking above value area high tonight, then we start coming back down, I want to play the rotation down, meaning point of control, target number 1. Then we can use this other distribution area as an additional target at 20,534. But then the next target would be value area low, and then all the way down here towards the point of control that has not been tested. However, if we break value area high and we stay above it, then we want to target this distribution node right up here at about 20,632.75. Anything above that, we look for a retest of today's high. Then the candle bodies out here from yesterday at 20,733. Anything above that, we're looking for the market to run all the way back up here and test the untested point of control. And let's not forget, we do have some market moving events, and the fact that we are in earnings seasons. Tomorrow before the bell, we have a slew of earnings coming out, and after the bell as well. And if we look at the expected movers, tomorrow after the bell, United Airlines expected to move plus or minus 9%, ASML plus or minus 7% or so. And then let's not forget, Thursday, we have Netflix on deck. Now, when we look at the economic calendar for tomorrow, what do we see? Well, barking is going to be barking over here at 9 a.m. However, at 8:30, we have building permits, housing starts. Then at 9:15, we have industrial productions month over month. Then Waller is going to be speaking right here at 9:30. Then at 10:30, we have the crude oil inventory numbers. Then at 2 p.m., we have the beige book. So we have a little bit of data tomorrow, but I wouldn't say it is action-packed in terms of economic news. Now we come over and we look at the SPY. We're the SPY able to make a new all-time high today. Previous high, 564.84. Today's high, 565.16. So yes, the S&P 500 able to make another new all-time high, breaking above the recent wicks that we've seen out here in the market. Then we look out here on the 4-hour chart. MACD indicator is at elevated levels. The two lines are still crossed to the upside. On the 1-hour chart, basically flat line, but still well above the 0 line. Then we look out here on the 30-minute chart, and notice we never came anywhere down towards the minus development area, but something that should capture your attention. If you're looking to be bullish the market, then you want to pay very close attention to this minus development area. I'm actually going to make this one a little bit wider, and I'm going to go ahead and say anywhere from 563.88 down to about 563.67. Now, ideally, the way I'd want to play this is have the market come down towards this level, reject, and start coming back down. Now, keep in mind, the more times we interact with this level, the more likely that level gives way, and that would give way to lower prices in the market. And we got to be very mindful. Will tomorrow actually produce the high out here for July? That's what Goldman Sachs is actually out here saying. And if Goldman Sachs is right, how low are we likely to go ahead and start going? Are we going to make it down and start filling in some of these minus development areas? Or does Goldman Sachs have it wrong? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, as we look at this, where are we at? Well, we're way above the weekly value area high from the prior week. We're actually above the currently developing value area high as well. And I won't be the slightest bit surprised if we get a big squeeze up in the markets maybe sometime tonight or early tomorrow. And then we'll see if indeed that will actually be able to hold prices, or if we simply just fall right back down. Now, when we come over and look at the daily profiles in this morning's video, what did I say? When we came down below value area low, watch out, we have a volume profile rotation trade on the way up. The point of control, I think, was already hit when we recorded this morning's video, but I said we should be all set to run all the way up to 56.98. Anything above that, then I want to target the candle bodies from yesterday, then the candle highs. So if you guys followed that principle, you should have done very well in terms of trading. However, there was a little bit of problem. If you look at value area high, we did have some knee-jerk reactions on the way down. So if you try to play the quick rip down, the first one right here, where we went above value area high and we came down, then you could have played this and you would have got roughly target one near that point of control. All the other wicks right around here, well, you would have had a series of losing trades. And that's what happens in a choppy market. And when you get into a chop zone, you got to be very, very careful and try not to be too stubborn and impose your will on the market. But then we resolved ourselves to the upside. Now, when we look at this, look at where we are in relations to value area high, which comes in at 5706.75. We are well above that area. The point of control will come in at 5699.25, and value area low will come in at 5690.25. Now, the fact that we closed outside of value, then you know the routine that either tomorrow or the following day, I'm anticipating this level to come back and get tested. Now, does that happen 100% of the time? The answer is absolutely no, but it does happen enough to where I'm going to want to take a swing at this target location tomorrow. And if we break down below it, guess what? We have the untested point of control below us. We have value area low. Look how thin the volume profile is all along, anywhere from just slightly below value area low all the way down towards the low of the day. Very low, volume was transacted down around that level. And that's going to be that's going to be a point of interest. If for somehow tomorrow we start breaking today's low, watch out. We're probably going to run all the way down here towards the minus development area that we've been talking about over the past few days. Now, if you guys want to learn 3 ways to profit from using moving averages and trading, watch this video right here.